Hello and a very good morning to everyone. Welcome to the daily current affairs analysis of the Shankar IAS Academy, and today's video is for the date of 13th of June 2025. So before moving to the topics to be discussed, a very hearty congratulations from Shankar IAS Academy for students who have cleared prelims, and for students who have not cleared prelims, let's keep fighting for the next attempt. So now moving to the topics for discussion. The first three articles are discussed from the mains prelims perspective on the migratory sharks under threat through the UNOC3 report, and next is talks about the 11th-year anniversary of Modi government through the Amrit generation, and next article discusses about the importance on the 50 years of emergency for the year of 2025. So all of these three articles are taken from Hindu, Indian Express as well as the Down to Earth. And next last two article discusses from the mains perspective, and both are from Hindu and Indian Express. So the fourth article discusses about AI's importance and the initiatives in the healthcare sector and their presence along with the human intervention. And the last article discusses about India-Canada's bilateral trade relations as well as country relations based on their development as well as people relations. So in light of these articles, let us see the topics discussed. Now moving to the first article, this article is from the Down to Earth. So here, according to the United Nations Ocean Conference 3, which was conducted recently, they have brought in a report where the deep sea species and migratory sharks are under significant pressure due to unsustainable fishing fines by FAO report. So this article is mainly important to understand the importance of the blue economy as well as the marine fisheries. Now let us see what is in the report. So this report is published biennially by FAO, that is the Food and Agricultural Organizations, titled Review of the State of World Marine Fisheries Resources 2025. So this report is was published by FAO during the UNOC, that is the United Nations Ocean Conference 3. So here they have brought in an assessment of 2,570 fish stocks worldwide, involving 600 experts, 90 countries and 200 institutions including India also. So here it aims to foster global awareness and improve fisheries governance based on data and trends. So what are the key findings found? So first is about the deep sea species. So here we need to understand that deep sea, it starts from the 200 meters of the sea where the sunlight fades. So it's between the sunlight zone as well as the twilight zone. So look into the names of the different zone. So here on the deep sea species, only 29% of deep sea species stocks are sustainably fished. So these species have slow growth, late maturation, long life and low productivity rates, making them even more vulnerable now. The next trend is about the highly migratory sharks. So here almost 43.5 of assessed shark stocks are unsustainably fished through being the bycatch in the tuna fisheries. So here bycatch means it's not the target. So during fisheries, certain species won't be the target, but they will come as a bycatch. So here these sharks are caught mainly as a bycatch in tuna fisheries. Most catches occur in tropical regions such as the Western Central Pacific, Eastern and Western Indian Oceans. So understand and look into the basics of the wind and trade patterns, and also the climate conditions, and also the climate change, where so these factors have indirect influence on this trend also. Next is looking into the global trends. So here almost 64.5% of all global fish stocks are fished at biologically sustainable levels. So rest the 35.5 are overfished, that is unsustainable. So here tuna and tuna-like species show high sustainability, that is 87% of stocks attributed to regional fisheries management. Looking into the regional trends, so here higher sustainability is there in the northeast and southwest Pacific due to strong management, whereas low sustainability in the Mediterranean Sea, Black Sea and Southeastern Pacific Ocean. So check the countries present and how they are having different management facilities. Next is there is data gaps. So here some regions like the Eastern Indian Ocean may appear sustainable, but they lack complete data on vulnerable species. Now, what is the solution or a way forward for having an effective management or effective policy management on these areas related to the report? So, here we need to understand the species present in areas beyond national jurisdiction. So, here the ABNJ includes high seas and the high seabed beyond national continental shelves to understand their to regulate their management and have effective solution. So here they lie outside the 200 nautical mile EEZ, that is the exclusive economic zone. So here we should all know the exclusive economic zone comes under UNCLOS, that is the United Nations Convention on Laws of the Sea. So here they bring in rules according to the sea areas present, and they are governed through regional fisheries management organization, that is the RFMOs in of different countries and international treaties. So here management here is very crucial for migratory and standing fish stocks. So I hope the article is clear. Know the basics, know the geographical basics also. Now let's look into a prelims practice question about the areas beyond national jurisdiction. So it refers to ocean areas which lie beyond the EEZs of any country. They are governed under the UNCLOS. All fishing activities are prohibited under international law. So here only option A is right, that is 1 and 2. Because third statement here you can eliminate by this statement, not all. All is a very extreme statement. Now the second news is about the Amrit generation. So here on 11th anniversary, Modi government pitches its work at Amrit generation of youth. So here let us see what the term means. First, about the NDA government in 11 years in power. So here there has been a focus on developmental integration and developmental infrastructure through different schemes through the government present. So here especially financial inclusion such as the Jandan Yojana, then infrastructural boosts such as the expansion of roads, highways, airports and digital connectivity, welfare schemes such as the Ayushman Bharat and direct benefit transfer, and youth oriented policies such as startup ecosystem, new education policies have brought in a broader understanding of our Indian nation through their government policies, and as well as for the development growth as well as for the economic integration of our country through the 11th anniversary of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government. So here the term has a major focus called the Amrit generation. So here the term is for those born post 2014 entering higher education and workforce. So here the 11th anniversary of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi focuses especially on this Amrit generation, where there has been approval of how this generation are in development process because of their visionary ideas through the Modi government. So here they are positioned as core beneficiaries of Modi era reforms. So it symbolizes transformation during Amrit Kal, that is post 75th independence growth phase, and it mirrors past identify building terms like neo middle class. So it's a new term for addressing the Amrit generation such as the new middle class. Through this 11th year anniversary and their visionaries, they bring in regional and youth-centric infrastructure development and focus. So there has been ultimate focus on Northeast as growth engine, where PM Narendra Modi visited 60 plus times in 11 years of the Northeast. So here looking into their rail modernization, here 103 Amrit Bharat stations were launched across 18 states, and major projects such as the metro expansion, that is from 5 to 21 cities, the Chenna Bridge, Statue of Unity and Zojila Tunnel were all infrastructure marvels for the Modi government to have a visionary appraisal. So this is it's even this topic can be a main topic on how their developmental progress have influenced India. So I hope the article is clear. Now let's look into a prelims practice question. Which of the following financial institutions is primarily involved in implementing Jan Dhan Yojana? CB, RBI, NABARD or scheduled commercial banks? So here the answer is D, scheduled commercial banks, not SEBI, RBI or NABARD. Now moving on to a very interesting article here. This year marks the 50 years of emergency. The emergency of 50 years, ruling holds a mirror, stands vigil under against subversion and due process. So why it is on the news? So June 12 marks 50 years since the Allahabad High Court verdict 1975 invalidating Indira Gandhi's 1971 election triggered the national emergency on June 25th of 1975. So here the emergency period from 1975 to 77 marked by civil liberty suspension, press censorship and centralized power. So it's a reminder to safeguard democratic institutions and prevent constitutional misuse, especially for a country like India. So let's see the basics on a prelims understanding of the emergency. Now what is an emergency? So here it's a constitutional mechanism to deal with threats to sovereignty, stability or democracy of a country. So here it allows executive to override federal as well as democratic safeguards temporarily for the safety and security. So here the emergency provisions are under article 352 to 360. So they are influenced by the Weimar constitution of German. Now what are the articles related to emergency? So here article 352 for related to national emergency, article 356 is for the president's rule under emergency. Next article 360 is for financial emergency, article 358 and 359 is for suspension of fundamental rights, and article 355 is for union's duty to protect the states during the emergency. So looking into the types of emergency, first is the national emergency under article 352. So here these emergency occur when declared for war, external aggression or armed rebellion, external aggression by other countries. So it suspends fundamental rights except article 20 and 21. So here the center empowered to override the state's power applicable to whole or part of India, and we'll be seeing the amendments present. So this comes under the 42nd amendment. So it requires parliamentary approval within 1 month, renewed every 6 months, and can be revoked any time by the president or if Lok Sabha disapproves by a simple majority. So these are the basics of the national emergency of article 352. So the judicial review is present for emergency. So here under article in the 30th amendment of 1975 made it non-justiciable. Then in 44th amendment in 1978 it restored judicial review. So here the case study would be for Minerva Mills case of 1980, where the Supreme Court can strike down emergency if malified. Now looking into the President's rule, that is the article 356, here it is imposed due to constitutional breakdown in a state. So here it is based on governor's report or the President's judgment. So this is one of the types of emergency. So SR Bommai case of 1994 brought in judicial review applicability. So here the notable cases would be for Punjab from 1987 to 1992 for insurgency, then in Maharashtra and 2019 and Uttarakhand in 2024 political instability, and also you can take the case of UP for in 1991 to 1992 for Rajiv Gandhi's assassination period. Now what are the commission's recommendations here? Sarkaria Commission recommended to use article 356 as last resort, and Panchi Commission it localized emergency to districts to limit to 3 months. So these are the commission recommendations involved. Now this is the third type, that is the financial emergency under article 360. So here declared if any financial stability of India is threatened. So it allows salary cuts, central's control over the state finances, and it requires parliament approval within 2 months. So this emergency was never declared in Indian history. Now these are the instances of national emergency. For example, 1962 because of Indochina war, and this is one of the external aggression. So this is one of the criteria here. 1971 Indo-Pakistan war of external aggression, and 1975 to 1977 political unrest of the High Court verdict on internal disturbance. So these are the constitutional changes during emergency. So as I told, the 39th Amendment of 1975 brought in PM selection, PM judicial review. Then it strengthened. Then it was in 44th Amendment. It was restored for judicial review and protected Article 21. And in 42nd Amendment of 1976, it strengthened the center limited judiciary. So let's see a background or a democratic legacy of how judicial review was a part of the was an act of the 1975 emergency. So here first suspension of rights were done and arbitrary arrests were done under the Maintenance of Internal Security Act and the Defence of India Act. So here these acts were followed during the emergency period, where it had arbitrary arrest also. So here censorship, judicial interference and rise of personality cult was high in trends. So it led to basic structure doctrine being asserted and importance for the basic structure doctrine. And for here rise of the JP movement, Jayaprakash movement or the Bihar movement, which brought in focus, then Navnirman Andolan and also the railway strikes. These are the cases or the fights present or the movements present which especially was famous during the emergency. So here it brought in judiciary, evolved collegium system post emergency. So this having a centered power came into the existence of collegial system. So I hope I have given a brief understanding about the emergency, important prelims focused facts on emergency on polity relative. So let's look into a prelims practice question. The term armed rebellion grounds for declaring a national emergency was introduced by which constitutional amendment, and put it down in the comment section. Now moving on to the mains article titled AI in healthcare. So here how safe the AI is in healthcare depends on the human healthcare. So many inventions such as finding the fetal age, ultrasound dating and high risk pregnancies, and guidance to virtual autopsies, that is the autopsy, and clinical chatbots AI tools are quietly reshaping Indian healthcare, but with ultimate human interventions and digital as well as infrastructural developments is very important. So let's see a few key initiatives which involved in the AI as the AI in the healthcare sector. So first is the Garbini or GA2 by the IIT Madras as well as by the Translational Health Science Technology Institution. So here they predict the fetal age from the ultrasounds, and for error has been reduced to 0.5 days versus 7 days with Hadlock's formula. So the meaning of Hadlock is basically to work along with finding the age as well as ultrasound of the fetal. So this helps. So Garbini is basically we all know is related to a term pregnancy. Next AI tool is Arman along with the UNICEF as well as with different states. So here it trains the auxiliary nurse midwives on high risk pregnancies. So here you can see grassroots levels involvement, and also they use AI chatbots for query resolution. Here 94% user satisfaction has been recorded. And next is the autopsy. So here it is non-invasive autopsies using CT MRI along with AI chatbots and AI. So it saves time, avoids body mutilation. Next tool is MediBuddy AI tool. So here it summarizes the patient data for doctors using data masking as well as role based access for privacy. So these are few key initiatives where involvement of AI is very prominent in healthcare, where it has major development as well as major revolution. So now what are the issues related to this AI in healthcare? First is automation bias. So here experts defer to incorrect AI outputs. Accuracy fell almost to 45.5%. So in comparison to human error, even there has been automation bias. Next is language barriers. So chatbots fail to have dialects in regional countries, which is 5.5%, sorry, 5% error. Now looking into the privacy gaps, the Digital Protection Personal Data Protection Act of 2023 lacks clarity on AI accountability. Next is having limited sensory input. So here the autopsy can miss minor injuries, tissue color and smell. So it can lead to larger impacts such as having wrong autopsies report. Next is overworked human support. So here the ANMs left unsupported due to trainer unavailability. So here in acknowledging the presence of ANMs, they need to have AI support along with the ANMs. Now, what is the way ahead for this issue? So here first they need to build India specific databases which includes dialects, which includes, as India is a country with with diverse people, so having regional dialects, having regional languages, having easy access and awareness for people to use digital need to be focused properly. Strengthening AI specific health regulations, policy regulation, policy implementation and regulation. Next, to train doctors on limits of AI tools. Here especially in healthcare, the human intervention is very important, and we can't be totally having our dependency on AI. So it needs to be having limits on AI tools, and also along with social media responsibility. Next, to improve regional language processing through having proper algorithm shifts. Next, to ensure human in the loop of AI models. So it shouldn't have automation bias by the AI, but it should have humans effort in the loop in the AI models. And to introduce audit mechanisms for transparency, especially when it is digitally connected. So I hope the article is clear. Let's see a mains practice question. Discuss the opportunities and challenges of integrating artificial intelligence in healthcare sector. How can regulatory and ethical safeguards ensures AI complements rather than replaces human expertise? So here even ethicality is one of the most major important criteria to be followed, and also along with the regulatory formulation. Now moving on to the next last mains article, bad blood on India-Canada ties. So here the article mainly focuses on India and Canada bilateral relations. So here after a decade, that is 10 years after our Prime Minister Narendra Modi has last visited Canada as a special invitee to the G7 summit outreach by June 15 to 17. So with some hopes that the invitation from the Prime Minister would give the two countries a chance to reset the bilateral trades and ties. So, in spite of the pending trial against the Indian government agents in Canada, so this bilateral relation can quietly that India as a major world economic force deserves to be part of the G7 outreach deliberations and having a strong India and Canada bilateral relations. So why it is in the news? PM Modi to attend the G7 outreach summit in Canada. So here we have made a video on the G7 group, and make sure that you guys have a prelims understanding on the G7. So here in Canada, after a decade, the invitation can be seen as an opportunity to reset ties. So what are the decent diplomatic fallouts? So here in 2023, the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau, alleged India involvement in the assassination case. So here India rejected unsubstantiated allegations. So here the both nations cut embassy staff by 1/3, and also the visa services were halted, and also the CEPA, that is the Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is broader than the free trade agreement, talks have been suspended. Even the free trade agreement talks have been suspended. So looking into India and Canada bilateral relations, it was established in 1947 as both the countries have based on shared democratic values. So here democracy, rule of law and multiculturalism are both the countries' focus and main priorities. So India and Canada have major sectors involvement such as energy sector, information and communication technology sector, education especially, and agriculture. So here looking into the bilateral trade worth, it is almost $8 billion plus from the year of 2022 to 23 especially. So here India is one of the major source of international students in Canada, especially for their job market. So almost 1.86 million plus Indian diaspora live in Canada. Now what are the challenges in this bilateral ties? First is Khalistan separatism and extremist threats and allegations present, and diplomatic downgrading, and the frozen FTA CEPA talks, which hinders the this bilateral sectors as well as their economic ties. Next is media politicization of the issues present and domestic political pressures in Canada, and especially the they are running job market for Canada in itself and poor market conditions, employment conditions. So looking into the significance of G7 Outreach Summit, it's a symbolic opportunity for India to restart engagement at the highest level along with the 7 major countries, as India is one of the developing countries here. So here Carney and Modi are meeting to signal mutual respect, propose law enforcement dialogue to address the security concerns present between the countries, and public messaging will shape future engagement for prospects and communication. So looking into the way forward as opportunities and reset options, first we need to restore high commissioners and full embassy function for both the countries as well as in the present countries. So reviving trade talks and investment treaties, as it would enhance our presence in the G7 summit also. So managing diaspora while curbing extremist narratives can bring in media regulation and people acceptance. And next is to strengthen the intelligence cooperation and diplomatic protection and collaborate in multilateral forums such as the G20, United Nations, etc., along with greater developed countries such as the G7 countries. So here the conclusion is these deep-rooted issues, it cannot be resolved in this one summit. There needs to be mutual trust and understanding. G7 visit can be a strategic window. So it can be a significant milestone to initiate this trust building. So here respect, sensitivity and persistent diplomacy are essential, as the migratory groups from India in Canada are present in the highest. And resetting ties require action beyond symbolic gestures. So this is the mains question. The visit of Indian Prime Minister to the G7 Outreach Summit in Canada marks an opportunity for diplomatic reset in India-Canada relations. In light of recent tensions, discuss the challenges and prospects in bilateral ties. So you can put in your answer in the comment section. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to give a like, comment and share. And to further not to miss any other content, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and have a nice day.